Some Eagles injury news to get to as the Philadelphia Eagles return home to South Philadelphia Lincoln Financial Field tomorrow night against the Minnesota Vikings for their home opener. This is Eagles Now by Chat Sports. I'm Chase Sr. Speaking of that game, we're going to be doing another watch party for it. Super chat giveaways and audience interaction, live play-by-play. Make sure you join us and also hit that subscribe button. We just surpassed 50,000 subscribers here on the show, and it wouldn't be possible without your support. But if you want breaking news Eagles videos like this and shows, content coming your way every single day, we have you covered here on the show. So, Eagles injury news to get to. The Birds have ruled out these following players: Kenneth Gainwell, running back; cornerback James Bradberry; and starting safety Reed Blankenship. On the show today, I'm going to tell you what this means for the Eagles going into this matchup against the Vikings and some matchups now to look out for with those players being out. Mike Garofolo NFL Network was the one who broke the news just a little while ago on this Wednesday afternoon that the Eagles are ruling out Gainwell with a rib injury, James Bradberry with a concussion, still in concussion protocol, may have been able to play on Sunday if there was an extended week, but quick turnaround to Thursday. And a little bit of a surprise here, Reed Blankenship also with a rib injury. Fletcher Cox is questionable with a rib injury as well, as the Birds were taking a lot of rib shots in that physical game in the trenches against the New England Patriots. He's questionable, limited at practice today on Wednesday, but sounds like Cox is going to try to give it a go, and for him, an extremely durable player all throughout his career since being that first-round pick out of Mississippi State. What all of these injuries mean for Philadelphia top to bottom here, and just some immediate thoughts, instant reaction that comes to mind here. With Kenneth Gainwell, you're without your RB1 who started last week. I think that Gainwell, we've seen this, is more of a good complementary back. I'm not sure he's an every down starting back in this league. What he did in the playoffs, what he's done from time to time, very impressive, right? But lacks that size for a running back that you want to use every single play. And I thought coming out of that Patriots game, I know it was raining, it was a little bit slick. He didn't really get involved in the screen game, which sometimes he does. He didn't wow me, right? And he doesn't necessarily wow you as compared to a gifted player like DeAndre Swift. For DeAndre Swift only had 2 touches in that game against the Patriots. Nick Sirianni admitted that was a mistake. Brian Johnson talked about that, and it can't happen because Swift is a very talented back. I often point to this stat, led all running backs in yards per touch last year. So the home run ability, the speed, has a little physicality. Remember how he finished off that long run after he bounced it out to the outside, crossed that defender up on the outside of the box against the Ravens in that preseason opener? Like, that's the type of wow play that he can give you. Also very, very good in the screen game. I think he's better than Miles Sanders as a receiver. The knock on Swift literally his entire career. And I wanted to double check this. I asked my guy Jake Rietma, who we just hired at Chat Sports. He used to work at 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit. I asked him, what's the takeaway with Swift? And he's like, Lions fans are kind of piling on him right now. Former second-round pick, didn't even make it to the end of his rookie contract. This is the final year of his deal. They gave up on him before year 4. And he said, very talented player, but the word was like he's always dealing with nicks and bruises. And that hasn't really taken away from him and his ability to play games. He hasn't missed a lot of games, but his usage has been down because he's kind of dealing with nicks and bruises. And I remember in Hard Knocks a couple of years ago, Deuce Staley even said, Eagles legend, right? And he said the one thing that Swift has to do to become an elite back, because he has all the traits, is to find a way to deal with pain. As a running back, you're going to. But the explosive element that he brings to the table, now he's going to be able to hopefully display that a little bit more. Elsewhere, Rashaad Penny will also most likely be active. I've always said, can he be that LeGarrette Blount from 2017, a valuable running back as part of the rotation? James Bradberry injury. What are the implications of this? Josh Jobe, second-year UDFA out of Alabama, he's going to start in his place. And he had a good training camp. He made the roster last year. Again, as a UDFA, you can tell Nick Saban player, tough, hard-nosed, physical, very smart. That's what Saban specifically looks for in his DBs. He has ability. Now, the matchup here to watch is Josh Jobe against Jordan Addison, first-round pick for Minnesota, played at USC. So that's going to be the matchup now. It was going to be Bradberry against Addison, But now Josh Jobe against Jordan Addison, he's a vertical threat. He's slippery in the open field. He's a quality young wide receiver. Flashed it under Lincoln Riley with Caleb Williams. That's why he went first round. And the year before Riley and Caleb Williams arrived there, very, very impressive player. And now it becomes Josh Jobe against Jordan Addison, and it becomes Darius Slay against Justin Jefferson once again. That was a matchup that totally went to Slay last year, one of his best all-around games as a pro, considering the player that he was facing. Eli Ricks could be suiting up for the first time. He was inactive last week. Mario Godrich was also inactive, so now he could be in that midnight green Eagles jersey, as those are the jerseys they'll be wearing for Thursday night. The interior Eagles defensive line matchup against the Vikings interior offensive line matchup, with Cox either playing or not playing. Huge matchup in this game. If you can penetrate the middle of that line of scrimmage, and Kirk Cousins has a muddied pocket right in his sight line, right in front of him, you know he's going to panic. That's going to disrupt him. He's prone to making mistakes when that happens. Garrett Bradberry is out for the Minnesota Vikings. He is their starting center. So if you get a pass rush tomorrow night, and you're able to, with Jordan Davis, who played awesome week 1, best game as an Eagle. Jalen Carter, as good of a debut as he could have had. Fletcher Cox, one of the fastest get-off times in the NFL last week. He was really, really disruptive. So if you bother Kirk Cousins, now at their backup center, and you're able to penetrate the pocket right in front of him, not toward the edges where he can use his peripherals, right in his vision line, that's how primetime Kirk could come out. So you get that pass rush. Kirk doesn't have as much time to throw. Easier on the back end for Josh Jobe against Jordan Addison, Darius Slay against Justin Jefferson. The biggest really concern for me outside of Bradberry is Reed Blankenship. This is not good. The Eagles were already light at safety. They struggled opposite of Blankenship in week 1. It was mostly a rotation of Justin Evans and Terrell Edmonds. Please get Sidney Brown on the field. Just get Sidney Brown on the field. I know he's a rookie, but you're playing a rookie defensive tackle, and he's a baller. Some guys just play, and they hit hard, right? Jalen Carter's been able to physically dominate the game as a rookie. Sidney Brown, in the preseason, was playing like Troy Polamalu. He's coming up to the box, laying dudes out, great range, good instincts. Does he get a little over-aggressive? Yes, he does. Are you going to get him to bite on a play-action pass? Maybe in this game if he plays? Yeah, you might. And then get him over the top, an area that Mac Jones really targeted last week. But I like what he brings to the table. And I think he's a better player already than Justin Evans and Terrell Edmonds. So, does Brown start and one of those vets, or does Sean Desai, Nick Sirianni go with both vets in Terrell Edmonds and Justin Evans? I think the smartest play with the best player is Sidney Brown. And he's an X factor if he does play because he makes big plays. At Illinois, fumble recoveries, fumble forced, interceptions, pick sixes. The instinctual style to his game is why I like him. And sometimes instinctual players, on top of running a 4.440, being yoked like Sidney Brown is, they can read things before they happen. And that's how you pick off Kirk Cousins because he can telegraph throws. So Reed Blankenship being out, he's their best safety. And you're going up against a pretty good passing attack with a good offense and a team that's coming off a bad home loss week 1 against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fletcher Cox talked about him. Nakobe Dean, in case you missed it, we talked about it a couple times this week on IR, has to miss at least 4 weeks. Went back, watched that game. He was really good against the run. Now, the Eagles' defensive line was awesome against the run because of all the big bodies on the interior, but Nakobe Dean sniffed some things out. Very good Pro Football Focus grade against the run. We talked about it earlier this week. I think it was about a 90, so good on that end. So wanted to pass along my takeaways, all of the latest Philadelphia Eagles news here on the show. Another reminder, going to be going live for that watch party tomorrow. The game is at 8:15 Eastern. So we'll be going live 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock for those of you on the West Coast. Our 15-minute pregame show, because if you have an opportunity to be live and chop it up, talk birds, Thursday night football, take down some drinks, that's what we do. And that's what our watch parties bring to the table. If you're not going to the game, our watch parties are the most lit place and the best place with the best analysis and excitement anywhere else but the game. So come join us, subscribe to the show. Eagles-Vikings watch party tomorrow night. Going to be doing a competition too. Super Chat. battle with Minnesota Vikings now, my boy Patrick Seatman. So it's going to be an absolute blast. We'll catch you tomorrow. Video coming out in the morning as well. Burning questions for the Birds going into Thursday night, and hope you all have a good rest of your day.